Who you trying to get crazy with, Esse? Don't you know that we are fucking loco? Bang your head to the opening ref! What's happening, y'all? And Happy New Year's, everybody! It's your boy J-Dub here with The Real Rush, and welcome to episode 15 right here on YouTube. It's our first episode of 2K19. And I'm sure that there were some people out there that were betting against us making it this far, especially, 15 episodes deep and into the new year and blah blah blah. Well, if you're one of those people, you just lost some money, boo. And it belongs to me now. So, ha! Loser. We're winners. We win. I'm kidding. I kid. Everybody wins. If you're watching right now, you're a winner. Everybody wins. Everybody look under your seat. You got a new car. No, I'm no Oprah Winfrey. No. I'm just a man on a cinematic journey to provide y'all with the best movie reviews possible. And that being said, let's go ahead and go on down to brass tacks, ladies and gents. I only got one review for y'all this week, and then we gonna get down to some other business. So, the lone movie on this week's Real Rush ticket, the new psychological horror film, Escape Room. Now, this is about 6 total strangers who get invited to an escape room. I said the title. Oh shit! Yeah, they get invited to an escape room, only to discover that the setup has some deadly intentions behind it. And that's the plot right there. Doesn't sound like much to be expected from, does it? Doesn't sound too intriguing? Nah? Even some of the previews, they were kind of on the fence. Yeah. Let me tell you, Escape Room was way better than expected. I especially say this because January is considered usually more or less what studios like to refer to as the dump month, where any film that they feel is not going to perform well at the box office or is not going to score high amongst the audiences, especially horror films, they go ahead and release them in January. Because you got that period in between the holidays and like Valentine's Day, between like blockbuster season, so to speak. So it's kind of like an off season. So like I said, especially for horror films, this is usually not a good time of year. This was directed by Adam Robitel, who did last year's first film that we saw of 2K18, Insidious: The Last Key, which I'll admit, the best in the Insidious series. It's not the worst film I've ever seen either, but it did start off 2K18 on a strong point. Escape Room, however, does a little bit of a better job than that, y'all. Now, sure, the dialogue in it, some of it is quite cheesy. But if you're going to movies like Escape Room and expecting some type of masterpiece, award-winning screenplay or something, you, amigos and amigettes, are going to the wrong film. What does win this movie over are the unconventionally, and in my honest opinion, unique scares. Those are where it's at. Some of the sequences were so intense that my palms were sweating and I was shaking a little bit in the theater. I wasn't expecting that from this movie at all going into it. By the time it ended, yeah, that was a good Thursday night, man. It reminded me a lot of The Belko Experiment from 2017, and that was one of our Real Rush entries. If you haven't seen it yet, you definitely need to check that out. The audience really dug Escape Room. I really did too, and I think you really will too. Go see Escape Room, y'all. Take a little bit of a breather from the serious movies for a minute, unless you want to go ahead and do like me and get caught up on all the Golden Globes and the Oscar nominees that are coming up and stuff, which I do highly recommend. But take just a moment, take a movie moment, disconnect the brain for a second, and just go have some good psychological horror fun with Escape Room. And let me know what you think, because like I said, everybody in the audience seemed to dig it. Everybody that I talked to at the theater after the movie was all said and done, enjoyed it. So I would like to hear what y'all think of it as well. go see Escape Room. Let your boy J-Dub know what you think. And on that note, ladies and gents, that wraps up the review section for this week's episode. And we're going to go ahead and move right along to the talk. Just like the talk show. With all the women sitting around and, you know, like the daytime women talk shows, there's always that one incredibly sassy black woman or the incredibly black sassy woman. No, this ain't it. This ain't it. No. Let's get on down to the business, the brass tacks of the 76th Annual Golden Globes. Now, when it comes to the nominees of these, I'm only going to be covering the movie section because, as you might be able to tell, when one goes to hundreds and hundreds of movies a year, it doesn't necessarily leave a lot of room to catch up on TV. So I'm not up to privy so much with the nominees in the TV section, but the movie section, your boys got you covered. So let's go ahead and get on down to brass tacks for that. We're going to kick things off. We're going to go with the big categories, y'all. Let's start off with Best Motion Picture in the Drama category. And the nominees are Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, If Beale Street Could Talk, and A Star Is Born. This is a tough category. Every single one of these movies deserves to be here. My pick, however, the one that stands out above the rest, I'm picking Black Klansman. I think that's the most powerful film out of every single one of these. Now, don't get me wrong, I loved every single one of these movies. Every single one of them. But Black Klansman just has that one up on every single one of them. That's my pick. Best Motion Picture Drama at the upcoming Golden Globes on Sunday night. Moving right along. Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy. The nominees are Crazy Rich Asians, The Favorite, Green Book, Mary Poppins Returns, and Vice. Now, the competition in this category isn't quite as stiff as the drama category. Personally, I'm picking Green Book to win this. I like that movie the most out of all 5 of these. However, I'm sensing that either Crazy Rich Asians or The Favorite is going to win this category. Which I wouldn't be disappointed, because same with the drama category. I was not disappointed by any of the movies in this category. I love them all. I just personally think that, like Black Klansman, Green Book just has that one up over all of them. That's the one that I see winning. However, well, I should say that's the one that I'm picking to win. However, I see either Crazy Rich Asians or The Favorite winning. So take that for what it's worth, ladies and gents. But in my book, Green Book, you're up. Moving right along here, let's go along to the best performances in a motion picture drama category. The nominees for Best Actor are Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born, Willem Dafoe for At Eternity's Gate, starring as Vincent Van Gogh, Lucas Hedges for Boy Erased, Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody for his portrayal as Freddie Mercury, and John David Washington for Black Klansman. Now now we're going back to a little bit of the stiffer competition here. As much as I want to pick, now out of all of these, as much as I want to pick Willem Dafoe for knocking it out of the park as Vincent Van Gogh, I'm going with Rami Malek for Freddie Mercury, because he just had it. He had it. He had it. He was Freddie Mercury in that movie. Now, Willem Dafoe was Vincent Van Gogh in that movie, just minus the accent. Rami Malek had it all. Mr. Malek, Brother Rami, you're up, brother. Moving right along. Same category, the nominees for Best Actress are Glenn Close for The Wife, Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born, Nicole Kidman for Destroyer, Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Rosamund Pike for A Private War. Told you I was going to call that one. Now this is another stiff competition category, y'all. The only one that I haven't seen out of all of these is Destroyer with Nicole Kidman. Just from the way that's looking and the hype that it's getting, I could see either Nicole Kidman or Glenn Close walking away with this award. However, neither of those two are my pick. For the longest time, Glenn Close was my pick for this. But after much deliberation, I'm actually going with Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born, y'all. Because she put on way too powerful of a performance. Like I said, I had to compose myself after the movie was over for like 15 minutes almost, just in the theater by myself, just take it all in. Miss Gaga, you're up, lady. You're my pick. Moving right along. Next up on the Real Rush Ticket, next category is the Best Performance in a Motion Picture, the musical or comedy category. The nominees for Best Actor are Christian Bale for Vice, Lin-Manuel Miranda for Mary Poppins Returns, Viggo Mortensen for Green Book, Robert Redford for The Old Man and the Gun, and John C. Reilly for Stan and Ollie. Now, Stan and Ollie is the only movie out of all 5 of these that I have not seen yet. Same as Destroyer and Nicole Kidman. John C. Reilly is getting a lot of hype, and Stan and Ollie is getting a lot of hype as well. I could kind of see him, just from the hype that he's getting, coming away with a sleeper win. However, since I haven't seen it yet, I personally can't pick it. Personally, there's no question. Christian Bale as Dick Cheney in Vice is my hands-on favorite to win this category. Because like I said last week, y'all, the whole time I was watching Vice, I didn't feel like I was watching Christian Bale. It felt like I was watching Dick Cheney play himself in a weird kind of way, right? Yeah. Even with Steve Carell as Donald Rumsfeld, I mean, the makeup and everything in this movie was just fantastic. But Christian Bale had me convinced that he channeled some serious Dick Cheney to play this role. So, Mr. Bale, good sir, you're up. Next category. Same category, but the nominees for Best Actress are Emily Blunt for Mary Poppins Returns, Olivia Colman for The Favorite, Elsie Fisher for 8th Grade, awesome nomination by the way, Charlize Theron for Tully, and Constance Wu for Crazy Rich Asians. I did not see Charlize Theron getting nominated for Tully. I didn't see Tully getting anything, just because of the fact that it came out back in the spring. Usually by the time award season rolls around this time of year, those type of movies are typically forgotten. But the crazy thing is, as much as I want to pick Charlize, Olivia Colman in The Favorite is my pick. Because she just, I gotta say it again, she just had it. She's had it. Just all over The Favorite. Hands down, the most powerful performance in that entire movie. Miss Colman, you're up. Moving right along to the next category on the Real Rush Tickets. We have Best Supporting Performance in a Motion Picture. The nominees for Best Supporting Actor are Mahershala Ali for Green Book, Timothée Chalamet for Beautiful Boy, Adam Driver for Black Klansman, Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Sam Rockwell for Vice. This is another no question. Now, as great as all these performances were, hands down, I'm going with Timothée Chalamet for Beautiful Boy. Because that was a heavy movie, and he put on a ridiculously committed performance. If you haven't seen it yet, highly recommended. A lot of triggers in it. Bring a couple boxes of Kleenex, but Mr. Chalamet, you're up, my man. And in the same category, the nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Amy Adams for Vice, Claire Foy for First Man, Regina King for Beale Street Could Talk, Emma Stone for The Favorite, and Rachel Weisz also for The Favorite. I was going to pick either Emma or Rachel for one of their roles in The Favorite, but the competition between them two was way too close. And then a couple weeks later, triple threat, Regina King came out of nowhere, slammed them both out of the ring. Regina King is my pick for this. She's come such a long way as an actress, y'all. And like I said last week, her role in If Beale Street Could Talk is hands down her best performance in her entire career. Miss King, you're up. Now let's move along on the Real Rush ticket to the other categories. First category we're going to pick from the other category. It's literally labeled other. Yeah. So for the other stuff, Best Director. The nominees for Best Director are Bradley Cooper for A Star is Born, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, Peter Farrelly for Green Book, Spike Lee for Black Klansman, and Adam McKay for Vice. Now, even though I did not see it in the theaters, hence it does not count as a Real Rush entry, my pick to win this, Mr. Cuarón for Roma. The fact that he took Miss Yalitza Aparicio Martinez, a now actress who had absolutely no prior acting experience, no training whatsoever, no formal acting training. She was studying to become a kindergarten teacher before she landed this role. The fact that he directed her to an outstanding performance, and if you've seen this movie, or if you haven't yet, it's on Netflix. You have absolutely no excuse to miss this. It's not like you have to go anywhere to see it. Netflix and chill this joint. Once you see it, you're gonna see why. Or if you've already seen it, then you already know why. He's my pick. And when you got, I mean, this is another stiff category as well. But again, Mr. Cuarón, you're up, brother. Great work, good sir. Great work. Great work. Next up on the Real Rush tickets, Best Screenplay. And the nominees are, again, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, Brian Hayes Curry, Peter Farrelly, and Nick Vallelonga for Green Book, Deborah Davis and Tony McNamara for The Favorite, Barry Jenkins for If Beale Street Could Talk, and Adam McKay for Vice. This was another category that I had a hard time picking from as well. Well, actually, all these categories, if you can tell by my stammering. But after about half an hour's worth of deliberation, it came down to between If Beale Street Could Talk and The Favorite. My pick for this is going to go to Miss Deborah Davis and Mr. Tony McNamara for The Favorite, just because the dialogue in that movie was just so sharp and so on point. And if you blink your ears for a second, you'd miss something. Miss Davis, Mr. McNamara, you're up. Next up on the Real Rush ticket, the next category, Best Original Score. And the nominees are Marco Beltrami for A Quiet Place, Alexandre Desplat for Isle of Dogs, Ludwig Göransson for Black Panther, Justin Hurwitz for First Man, and Mark Scheinman for Mary Poppins Returns. For me, it came down to almost like a triple threat between Isle of Dogs, A Quiet Place, and First Man. Then Isle of Dogs kind of got knocked out, and it came down to between A Quiet Place and First Man. And between those two, I'm going with my La La Land boy, Mr. Justin Hurwitz, for his score for First Man, because that joint was powerful. So, Mr. Hurwitz, yo up. And while we're on the topic of music, let's move on to the next category, which would be Best Original Song. And the nominees are All the Stars from Black Panther by Kendrick Lamar, SZA, Soundwave, and Al Shucks. Girl in the Movies from Dumplin' by Dolly Parton, Linda Perry. Requiem for a Private War from A Private War by Annie Lennox. Revelation from Boy Erased by John-C, Troye Sivan, and Leland. And Shallow from A Star is Born, Lady Gaga, Mark Ronson, Anthony Rosamondo, and Andrew Wyatt. I haven't seen Dumplin'. It's in my Netflix queue. Don't worry. I'm going to get to that real soon. And I heard it's really good. So yes, I will be getting to that. All the Stars, that's on like my daily playlist. It gets my blood pumping, it gets my goosebumps bumping, and everything. However, not my pick. Shallow also gave me goosebumps every single time that I saw A Star is Born the trailer and the movie, well, the one time I saw the movie, but all the times that I saw the trailer, the goosebumps. They were going, man. They were firing. Also not my pick. My pick for best original song is I'm going to go with that sleeper. Even though Shallow is probably going to win this, I'm going to go with that sleeper that I mentioned a couple weeks ago, Requiem for a Private War, because I'm not sure if I actually mentioned this in my review or not, but just the way that it sounded and the way that it hit me as the ending credits of A Private War rolled, it was intensely magnetic. I don't know how else to describe it. So, Miss Lennox, all the best to you. You're up. You're the Real Rush pick. Last two categories we have here for you. First one up, Best Animated Feature Film. The nominees are Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, Mirai, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Mirai is the only one of these that I haven't seen. I think it was at the Angelica at some point. And I don't know how I missed it if it was. Hopefully that's not the case. So hopefully I get to see that at some point. But this was a no-brainer for me too. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Way too damn good. Way too damn good. And Spider-Man, you're up. And last but most certainly not least, Best Foreign Language Film. And the nominees are Capernaum from Lebanon, Girl from Belgium, Never Look Away from Germany, Roma from Mexico, and Shoplifters from Japan. Now, Roma and Shoplifters are the only two movies of this category that I've seen. And it was tough to pick between those two. Those are both great movies. Great. But I gotta give the edge to Roma. I have to give the edge to Roma. Watched that the other night. Couldn't go to sleep afterward. Just because of how strong familial bonds can be when it doesn't necessarily have to be between blood bonds. And once again, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about, and if you haven't seen it yet, you need to see it, because Roma is my pick for Best Foreign Language Film. So Roma, you're up. Best Foreign Language Film and Best Director. And those are all the categories for the movies for Golden Globes, ladies and gents. I do want to acknowledge that Jeff Bridges will also be receiving the Cecil B. DeMille Award, and Carol Burnett will be receiving the inaugural Carol Burnett Award. I'm not making that up. It's like the Cecil B. DeMille Award, but more geared towards like TV and stage. And who better to deserve the Carol Burnett Award than Miss Burnett? Grew up with your show, lady. Miss Burnett. I still watch it every night, almost every night, when it comes on MeTV. So yeah, totally deserve it. And I can't wait to check out the Golden Globes on Sunday. 76th Annual Golden Globes. They're hosted by Sandra Oh and Andy Samberg. They come on NBC this Sunday, January 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Check them out. And you're more than welcome to communicate with me during them and let me know what you think is going on. Let me know how you feel. Moving right along here. Next up on the Real Rush Ticket, I did mention last week that I want to go down my bottom 10 of 2K18. What I feel were the worst 10 movies of 2K18. And going down in the order in which they were received into my brain, the Real Rush bottom 10 of 2K18 are Winchester, 50 Shades Freed, The 1517 to Paris, Samson, Truth or Dare, Breaking In, Slender Man, The Nun, Hellfest, and The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. I kind of felt bad adding that one because it did have a little bit of magic to it, but that was one of those risky Disney ones, and that's my bottom 10 for 2K18. If you want to dispute any of these, let your boy know. We'll see what happens. Well, no, we ain't gonna see what happens. We gonna talk about it. But for honorable mention in this category, I have a best worst of 2K18. I didn't have one. Well, I had one for 2K17. I just never mentioned it. That honor went to Transformers: The Last Knight because it was so bad that it was entertaining. Not in the way that the film intended, but it was entertaining. This year, for 2K18, that award is going to The Hurricane Heist. So ridiculously over the top that it was actually somewhat good and entertaining. So bad, it's good. That's what it is. And we're going to take a little quick commercial break. I'm going to see y'all in a second before we wrap things up. Hold tight, y'all.
Hey guys, I'm Rutgers Piwakomako. I'm the owner and proprietor of Rutgers Wholesale, where whatever your needs are here in the DC metropolitan area, I got for you. Sports betting, fried chicken, ballroom dancing, busted fucking typewriters, Florida Evans's neck. Hey Rutgers, what about bananas from 1979? I got them shits too. Come on down to Rutgers Wholesale. We located at 1426 Juilliard Avenue, Arlington, Virginia, right in between the Donkey Punch Porn House and Starbucks. And we 24/7, baby. You can give us a call anytime at 703-555. Yes!
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 15 of The Real Rush. I just want to take a moment to thank our sponsors for that awesome commercial break there, because without you, we would not have this awesome show to provide to the people with this high production value, as you can see before your very eyes. And ladies and gents, that's a wrap for episode 15 of The Real Rush here on YouTube. Stay tuned for episode 16 next weekend, where I will have reviewed for y'all Replicas, The Upside, and A Dog's Way Home. And I've just may put together a most anticipated movie list of 2K19 for y'all. We'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all, feel free to go ahead and type those into the YouTube page here. And to everyone who's subscribed so far, I just want to take a moment to thank y'all for doing so. And if you haven't done so, please go ahead and do so. So that way, it's easy for you to stay tuned for new episodes of The Real Rush. And please continue to spread the word of The Real Rush, like everybody should be spreading love these days, ladies and gents. In the meantime, you may follow me on Instagram for my live movie check-ins as they occur. That is at JDubChampion, hashtag The Real Rush. Thanks everybody for watching The Real Rush. Have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. Enjoy yourselves. Remember, when you're at the movies, keep your lips shut, cell phones on silent, away, smartwatches, motion sensors turned off. And we'll see you next weekend! Peace!